Hi, before we start, if you want more daily games news video, like, subscribe and hit that bell button. Let's go. God of War Ragnarok will reportedly take more than 70 hours to 100% complete, lining up with earlier rumors that a normal playthrough of the game can take up to 40 hours. In just a few weeks, Ragnarok will finally be upon us after years of waiting. One of the big questions that many fans of the last game have been asking is how long the adventure is going to be, and how much new will it introduce compared to 2018's God of War. Thanks to previews of the game that were released last week, we've now got a solid idea of how long the adventure might last if you're trying to see absolutely everything. As highlighted by Twisted Voxel, several IGN journalists took spoiler-free questions about God of War Ragnarok on the most recent episode of Beyond. One of the questions that comes in from a viewer is whether Ragnarok feels like a sequel to the 2018 game, or if it feels like more of an expansion, causing a debate on the podcast as to what constitutes a sequel. Following that debate, IGN's community lead Jada Griffin talks about her experience with the game so far, noting that more new elements get introduced the further you get into the story, before mentioning that she's not finished it yet with more than 70 hours of playtime. Griffin said, "I'm 70 hours in right now. Yeah, I'm doing a completionist run for those asking or wondering why I've not finished it yet." This seems to match up with earlier leaks that claimed that Ragnarok would be around 40 hours in length, with almost 5 hours worth of cutscenes. If you take into account that 2018's God of War took around 20 hours to complete with no side missions and 50 if you wanted to 100% it, then it would make sense that the sequel would take more than 70 to fully complete if it's already double the time for a normal playthrough. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.